So yeah, this is Positivity John. He's playing gold right now. Plays Jett, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what he picks.
Cool. Let's go.
Okay, he picked Jett. So Jett on Ascent. I mean, there's different styles, right? Like you can opt Jett obviously, and that's a style play. You can
Yo, hello
rifle
humans.
Jett. Um,
Yo, you guys got sisters or no?
okay, that's weird.
Nah,
That's a
trying to look for
yikes.
one though. Trying to mate, trying to reproduce. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But yeah, so like
Right. What about you guys? You
obviously,
guys looking for
the
people?
op style of Jett is different from the rifle style of Jett. You can pick up either one on attack or defense rounds. It's just up to you and how you feel about your play. So depending on which gun he picked up, we're gonna obviously critique his style and like what he's doing differently. Um, I mean, this is obvious, but like, op, you're generally more passive, you're holding angles, but obviously there are like aggressive oppers as well. But it's still a different style of play than rifling when you're trying to like create space for your team, like open up a map and get an entry. So we shall see how he approaches this. Um, the first thing that I'm thinking now too is like, so one thing that's really important as Jett, if you're playing offense, is like what type of support do you have and what do you expect? So he has an Omen, so Paranoia. He has Yoru, so the Yoru blindsides, I think they're called. Um, Sage Heal, and then Killjoy Mollies. So eh, there's nothing like really to be said just yet about like his team and stuff, but it is because sometimes as a duelist you do want to call like for a certain piece of utility for your team to use for you, right? So Omen Paranoia is like the big one here. Heal is like an obvious one. That doesn't really matter, but there are other things that can help. So he's defaulting to a normal Frenzy, Fented Light Armor, which is like pretty default for Jett. He's pretty good on her. She just runs in, kills people, dashes if she needs to reset her fight. So we'll see how he plays that. Also, his FPS is dog. If I had to play with 100 FPS, 60 basically, I'd be dying. Okay, so this is fine. That gets him across the log angle, and it does create a lot of space. But his teammates have to be careful to clear that log position, which I think there was actually a breach there. Um, so that got one person killed because it was a little bit of a selfish dash. Yeah, and that was that round. So generally speaking, one thing that I have found with Jett that's bad is that if you dash in like that, yes, you create. In some ways, you can create space for your team if you draw aggro onto you, but other times you don't draw aggro onto you, and so it actually creates a situation in which your teammates are like all trying to like funnel in behind you, and so a lot of times, especially in this elo, like those teammates won't actually clear the corners, and so in some ways it may be more effective to not do that sort of dash and actually clear, the left and right cubbies for your team, and like the breach is sitting in the logs, so like clears that right corner and he gambles that, like he probably just kills him right off, right? And then if he needs to dash to like go back into B main, and into safety, then he can like reset the fight and then take the next fight onto whoever the brimstone was on B site. Yeah. So that's only the one consideration. Like for example though, if you were to do like a dash into A site, like A site's a little bit different because you can like dash into the middle site and then clear those corners that you passed. Whereas in the dash that he did on the B side, like he does that dash, you really can't clear logs. Or honestly, it might have been worth it to like double back and actually clear logs and then go site. Especially if he knows that that lane is free and he's not going to get peeked from the brimstone. Yeah, what's up, Blingy? How you doing? This round was force. Not too much to say. I think he got a kill at the start, but his team's like locked out now, so sometimes you force and it works, and sometimes you force and it doesn't. His Sage died, so he didn't get healed. That sucks. Not much you can do there. Oh, he didn't get the kill. He dinked. He dinked the Jett. The other Jett dashed out. So I don't know. That round was tough. I don't think there's too much to say about it. My philosophy is like if you're forcing on second round, like your whole entire team wants to just go the same place and like rush the site so that you can get and confirm kills. Because the longer the round draws on that you haven't confirmed kills, like your team is low. Given that they had a sage, but the sage died, right? But like generally speaking, if you don't confirm those early kills right away and kind of like take the enemy by surprise, you're gonna lose. Because the enemy has better eco, so they have better armor. Like they just have more HP than you. Okay, so he's a very, aggressive Jett here, right? So he didn't waste any time. He smokes in, closes the door. That's totally fine. Like this is good. It's one style of play. There are ways to play more methodically and try to look for a pick before doing this sort of thing, but going in like this isn't bad. So I don't have a problem with this play just yet. Obviously, if he starts doing this and starts like feeding, it's gonna be a problem. Okay, so this is a problem. So he's taken that angle twice in a row. And he's lost that angle twice in a row. Um, that's not a great angle. If he wants to actually take that angle, he should probably tuck in. Because I don't know, it's just not a good angle. He should pick a different angle. One thing that I like to do is you can go on these boxes and loop here and then fight this lane. And that way the people that were going that side over here, well, let's this way. Okay, it's gonna rotate, so I can't really point it. But like, yeah, the people that are going that lane, since they're going down that lane, if you have control of this lane over here, you can like kind of wrap them. And I think that in general is stronger. And if you don't want to do that, then just tuck in. Play contact off one of your teammates and then swing, because he's making first contact there, but that angle is like it's too shallow, so he's not gonna get anything done. Like he's just standing in front of their crosshairs at that point. Positivity John is actually a Radiant Smurf. All right, bet. Let me see some aces then. This is a small thing. 300 viewers are watching. Lol. This is a very small thing, but like, he should definitely get the orb, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's a gamble. Like, so if you're rushing a site, then don't worry about the orb because it slows the timing of your push, and that's not really good. But in the case that like what their team was doing, like they weren't really rushing, right? So I think at that point he should look at the macro. He should get the orb. That way, if he dies, he knows for sure that he's gonna have Jett knives for next round. Um, and like these are small things that are, in my opinion, important because it adds up. Like Jett knives does two things for your team. One, it enables you to win a pistol round if you pop off, which is huge, right? Because you thrift your enemy team. And then two, it helps your economy like with your team overall really well. So like if you are confident with your Jett knives, what you can do is you can buy armor, which is 1,000, and only pop Jett knives, right? Don't buy anything else. And that enables you to basically save 2 guns for a round. And like there are so many situations in which your teammates are gonna start dying, right? Or you die and need that economy. Um, where you like if you have that extra cash, you can just buy your teammate a gun, right? And like yeah, maybe your teammates suck, but like you never know. Like maybe the gun that you bought them really does win them a gunfight that they wouldn't have won if they had light shields or anything else. That situation he's flashed, so he should cloudburst, dash out, but at least use utility, right? He just tried to spray there, which I mean, yeah, if you're really confident in your spray, okay, you shouldn't spray. If you get flashed and you're really confident, what you should do is you should burst fire the spot that the angle that that person is coming out of. That is acceptable to me. But if you're spraying the flash, I think that's generally speaking pretty weak. So he can pick one of the two. He can pick the tap fire and try to get the kill, like the headshot kill, or he can cloudburst and play the defensive option because he has utility there to use. 3v1, not much to say about this round. He didn't accomplish much. Like his teammates kind of carried him. And that happens, that always happens. So okay, so they confirm that the Brimstone's on B site, something like that. Raise the volume a little bit so I can hear.
Enemy taken out.
So yeah, I mean this Sage 4K kind of won him that round. Skin upgrade, respectable. All right, so this round, so he's starting to get an idea, at least on offense, of like how the enemy team's playing. So the Breach is playing kind of rotator position, I think. He's playing aggressive with his flashes. The Cypher, I actually have no idea. He's on A. Is he on A? Where does the Cypher play? He's on A, right? Jett's on A too. So Jett, Cypher A, then Brimstone, Reyna B. Is that the thing? Let me confirm this round. Because what he wants to start doing is like getting an idea of like which each player is and like where they're playing around the map and like what they're doing, so that he can more effectively like take these engagements. Because he has a read on. Okay, so they actually put 3 on A side, so 2 B side, 3 A side, and the Cypher is on A side. So if you have this sort of read, that sucks. If you have that sort of read, like as a duelist player, like you're the person that's kind of leading the engagements, right? So what you can be doing is you can say like, hey, like they're 3-stacking A with the Cypher, we should just go B side, right? So I think in that scenario, if he knows that they're kind of like leading A like that, he should definitely go B and make that call. This round he should not buy his gun. He should just jet knives. He should save that economy for his teammates. He should check right now to see if he can buy his teammate a gun, and even if he can't, like even if they're just saving, he shouldn't buy this gun. He should just use his knives. Use it as an economy option. Yeah, look, like his team's full buying, and then one of them has a stinger. Like he can give this gun to one of his teammates, and then he can use his knives. Like it's better that way, so that he maximizes the value that his team has. Yeah, that dash, no, yeah. He can't do that dash unless he's getting support from a smokes player. So his smoke player, do they not have smokes? They have an omen. Yeah, they have smokes. So before he does that dash, he needs the omen to smoke market and CT. And if the omen does not smoke market and CT, then he has to smoke it himself if he wants to do that. Um, also, like he could have just had jet knives in that scenario, and like jet knives still would have been stronger. It maybe would have made him like allowed him to make a play on the brimstone, because it's a little faster than the phantom. But yeah. So what I'm seeing right now is like he's kind of just like alternating between the sites, you know? Like, he's going A, he's going B, he's going A, he's going B. He should definitely peek out right now and right click someone. Yeah, he should right click him. Go, 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 go. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So that one is like hesitation and like timing. Like he should completely commit to the right click there. He should go as quick as, like, as soon as he sees that person there, like he knows that the people are shooting around the corner. He should be going, right clicking, and like dashing out. He should like hard commit. He can even jump to make sure like, you know, he doesn't get like randomly headshot because he's like head level. And like that'll secure that. And if he does that, if he just goes out and like jumps, right clicks, dashes out, re-engage, right click, like everyone, like there's so many people in that corner, right? Like in that scenario, he was in like he has the advantage. He has right click. Like if he hits his right clicks there, like he actually just dumpsters the entire enemy team. Um, so he hesitated, so he missed his opportunity, and he kind of didn't commit for the right click. Like you saw he was kind of like holding it shallow, so that he was like in a wall ping position. Like he should honestly just go out and like get it so that he can see the entire breach's body, and then you know dash out because there are people on the other side. But like once he kills that person on the left, then the right people he can re-engage after the dash. It's fine if he takes like a little bit of damage, you know? Like it's okay. He has Sage. He's not stressed for like health or anything. He just wants to confirm the kill.
Cover going out.
Mm, yeah. So this is bad because their team has bad map control. They're all here on A side, but they haven't engaged yet. Their Omen player is actually throwing because he's not smoking anything. But as Jett, you should be thinking like I can augment my team by like doing those smokes. Obviously they don't last long enough now. They used to be 7 seconds, now they're 4.5. But he should still be trying his best to like you know fulfill the role that one of the players is not fulfilling. And if you put smokes down on heaven, smokes and garden, it gives at least a very very small window in which they can get in, maybe do something. Um, but right now it's like actually like their Omen players just not smoking. So maybe he should say something, be like, yo Omen, can you smoke this? And they might be able to pull out more rounds if he gets like a little bit of extra support, so he can entry, because that's what he wants to do, you know. Okay, he pulls out an op. I don't hate this at all. Because he's not getting smokes, if he can work picks fast before his team dies, because his team is actually just like dying, you know, then maybe something can happen. So I like this that he's trying to take this mid fight. He loses it, unfortunately. I think the way you win that is one, you jiggle, right? You jiggle, you jump, knives, jiggle the first one, and then you go out and like reclaim the angle, and maybe you win it that way. Second way is like, I don't know. I actually am not an operator. Maybe just wide swing. I think that's trolling. No, I don't think you wide swing. He could have updrafted and taken the green box angle. Like maybe that would have worked. I don't know. He just lost an up fight. But I think knife jiggling, like the safe approach is knife jiggling to bait out the upshot and then take the angle. And then like reclaim it so you have more space to work with. Then take the fight again. Oh god. Yeah, it's looking bad. is looking real doomered. But to be fair, Ascent might be really defense-sided in these sorts of lobbies. I mean, even in like Immortal Plus, I feel like Ascent can be really defense-sided, especially when your team's opping and your smokes player on the enemy team is not smoking. Like that, is that like the first Omen smoke I've seen all game? Cap. Um, yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't like how he's playing this. He's playing Lurk Jett, but like, if he's gonna Lurk Jett, like he needs to be faster.
Headshot.
He gets a kill there. That's good. He should get this kill here. Oh, they got the kill. Yeah. I don't know. If you have to bait your team, right? My philosophy is like do the thing, do your lurk as fast as possible. Like get to the moment in which you actually impact the like course of the match for your team, because
One enemy
okay, same problem there. He should be cloud bursting two in the middle. Nice, they win that. He should be cloud bursting two in the middle of A site so that it's covering green default and heaven, and then he can dash into those smokes. He kind of just dashed in and he wasn't in any smokes. Given that he was camera tagged, but the camera tag's not like a recon reveal, right? It's like periodic pings, so there's still a chance that he's okay. Another thing that he could have done is like if you did get camera tagged, just don't go in. Like take the dart out and then go in. I don't know. I don't think they were stressed for time there, so he could have not gone in with a cam dart. He could have just taken it out. But yeah. But yeah, back to lurking thing. Like, if you're gonna play lurk and bait your entire team, like you want to accomplish the value that you get from your lurk as soon as possible before your team dies, right? Like, too many times you have lurkers, like even in Diamond Plus, they're just like rifle out, going around all these corners, and it's like, dude, like your team is going to die eventually, you know? Like if you don't do jack shit, or they're gonna carry you, and then your lurk didn't matter anyways, right? Like if you want to make impact as a lurker, you have to go. So going unfortunately presents a risk that you're gonna have your knife out and maybe you encounter someone, you just die, right? And that feels bad, which is obviously why people uh, rifle out lurk. But again, your job is to impact the round as soon as possible, and the only way to do that is to have your knife out and to go. So I don't know. If you're gonna lurk, take map space aggressively is what I'm saying. Uh, he knew there was an opera. He probably heard updraft. I don't think he should have challenged it, because now this opera is winning the round for him. He has Cloudburst too, which is okay. They have two operas.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, they switched. Oh my god, this stage. Yeah, no, I think it was really important that he stay alive there, because as Jett against an opera, he has the Cloudburst to lock out the opera for a good amount of time. Um, I mean, if he had 3 Cloudbursts, which I think he did, that's 4.5 times 3. What is that? 13.5 seconds. That's a lot of time. So not only is that a lot of time, but like you can spray through. Like those are opportunities where you can spray through with this Phantom, and like do a lot of damage and even maybe get a kill if it's like timed well. So he should definitely be thinking of like how to use that utility to lock out the round and like maximize his potential with Jett, rather than like kind of taking an aggressive leading fight where it's already telegraphed. You know, like he's updrafted. The other Jett I assume also updrafted, so it's not. Oh my god! 5-5-5. Hopefully he's calming that to his team, and he should play more aggressive angle. So yeah, so that is slightly lucky in my opinion because the Killjoy is set up. But like now you can see he's like super surrounded, right? So he has classic and he's Jett. So if you played closer there and held the lane angle, like you can hold on this lane, right? And he has Jett, so he can dash out. If he holds that lane angle, he can get a couple shots as they're coming out. He knows they're gonna come out. He can dash away. Once he dashes away, he can get closer to this wall over here, and then he can play his classic right-click jump. The classic right-click jump from that angle is really strong. And as Jett, again, it's really strong too because you have Cloudburst to always give yourself a little bit of space to work with. The angle that he played, in my opinion, was too far back. It gives the enemy too much space, and that is kind of what happened. Like he got the first kill, and I was surprised because like the rest of the people didn't funnel out. Again, it was quote unquote lucky because there was a Killjoy molly there. But in a different scenario, it's like, or after that little delay of the molly, like that, what happened is like the enemy team just funneled out in that lane because he gave that spacing up, right? And he got pinned on green box. And then once he was pinned on green box, like he had to fight 2 different angles at once, and it was just over. Like he couldn't do anything more. Whereas if he retains the close wall here, and plays that jump right click, he locks down that lane with the alarm bot and the molly and like can do a ton of damage. I think if he does that, he maybe gets 2 or 3 kills rather than the one he got. And the one he got also wasn't like a quote unquote clean kill. Like he took damage from it. Given it wasn't like too much damage, but still. Like any way you can get a clean kill is obviously stronger. Like the first guy was vulnerable, you know? So like one right click to the body just kills him. And if he does that, it's like it's free, right? No damage taken. So this is a really good play. He should walk down. He should definitely okay. He has a Spectre, right? So like he needs to close that distance, and he has Cloud Burst and he has Dash. So he's safe if he plays a little more aggressive there. Instead, he doesn't take that spacing, and so by the time he takes that fight, like the Cypher just comes out and classic dinks him. And that's not a good value trade, right? Uh, the Spectre does the exact same damage as the classic. It just fires faster, and it's an SMG. So I think if he pushes down there,
30
he
seconds left.
closes out the round much easier.
Spike planted.
Okay, that breach is not paying attention. I mean that's fine. He whiffed a little bit.
One
I don't think it
enemy
matters.
remaining.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it was okay. Okay. We'll just say okay for that one. We'll take it. So yeah, it's looking like Ascent is feeling like pretty defense sided.
Here. Placing sentry.
I don't like this at all, but that's my playstyle.
Turret out. Turret out.
I think this is a little bit greedy, but we'll see if it works.
Grenade.
I personally never like playing these kind of close cubby angles, because if you get utiled out, you're just kind of like screwed. But I do know players do it, and like it can work. And if you have the right discipline, then it's fine. Okay, that was really bad.
Last player standing.
So what he did there, right, is he saw the breach, and immediately he started crouching and like shooting. And like I have this bad habit too. I do it in scenarios in which I shouldn't. But the right decision there would have been as soon as you see that breach to keep strafing to the right so that you can keep on him, right? Because the first piece of information he got is that the breach has his flash out, right? So in that scenario, it's like you want to confirm that kill as quick as possible, and the only way to do that is to make sure that he keeps in your line of sight. So you can expect the breach there to kite left relative to you, and so you want to kite right. So if he just kept kiting right with the Spectre instead of crouching, he would have confirmed the kill in the breach, and then after confirming that kill, he can just dash out, right? He still had dash, I'm pretty sure. And that resets the fight. You can go to the next one, like re-engage on garden and like get the second maybe, right? But instead he just crouches, which stops his movement. The breach tucks into the left. Once he tucks into the left, another guy swings him. He's not ready. His crosser's not ready, and well, actually the breach re-swings him, and he just kind of dies. So that one was actually a movement play. Like you shouldn't be afraid to move. Oh, he just whiffed. He should. Okay. That was really okay. Two things there, right? One, obviously just trigger discipline. Trigger discipline means when you see someone that has their back turned to you, you don't immediately kill them. You try to see if you can get more. So because the Brim quote unquote passed that angle and didn't check it, like he should actually wait to see if another person will come cross, and he can get like a second one, right? Because he has info that the Brim's there and doesn't know that he's there. So it's likely that someone else doesn't check. It's a little greedy, but like trigger discipline is important because it can secure you these kind of like multi-kill rounds where
30 seconds
you can just
left.
literally win because someone on the other team didn't clear a corner and the rest of the team is like not expecting you to be there.
Last player standing.
That's the first thing. Second thing is he obviously whiffed. Like he just, I don't know, he like kind of flicked and like whiffed. Like he should really take his time to like confirm that kill because the place, like the position that he was
10
in
seconds
was
left.
like actually a god spot with knives, right? Like right click at that spot is like so incredibly good, it's crazy. So even if he didn't trigger discipline and like wait to see like more info to like see if people were coming out, As long as he confirms that kill on the brim, and just make sure it's a good right click, he can then swing the market angle, and like right click more people, because like it's so close, you know? Like, and they're not gonna really have time to like react to understanding like the brim died. Like he has a little window of opportunity, like after getting that kill, to swing off and get a second. Yeah. So there are a lot of these scenarios right now where he could like be getting multi kills, like 2 or 3 kills, um, but he's he's getting like 0 or like 1. Yeah, and if he's getting these multi kills, like he'd be closing out these rounds faster and quicker, and like his team would have more eco, and he should have definitely kept that angle because the blind flew past him, and then he would have got a free headshot. So that's one thing about understanding enemy utility is like if the enemy messes up their utility, you should definitely punish them. They're almost suicidal. Zio is suicidal. Okay. Okay.
Here.
I don't like this because he's not actually holding the cross with his Yoru. He should be out a little bit more. Like he should backpedal AS. He should now. Oh, he's fucked. Cloudburst, perfect. And then peek left, peek left, peek left.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Well, the cross worked. I think if he peeks left there a little bit, he maybe doesn't take as much damage, and he can take a better gunfight on an angle where they line up, and he can headshot them. His killjoy ends up
30
picking up
seconds
all the
left.
frags anyways, because they're focused on him, so it worked out. But I think he can maximize like the damage that he's doing. All right, 2v1 scenario. So he's playing Lurk, which is fine. He's playing info. So if he dies, hopefully his teammate that's full HP
10
has the info
seconds
to win the
left.
round. Or if his teammate dies, then he's on a good Lurk so that he can finish off the Cypher with a headshot. At this time, they win because no plant. Wild. He should still try to save this gun though. Like he should still technically be like walking to deny info and like make sure he doesn't die so he can keep his gun. Because he can sell Cloudburst and buy a teammate. Not sure if they need that buy, but yeah, it's good to save the gun obviously for econ purposes. Okay, so if he's taking this mid spot, I'd like them to hold panels or top mid and like actually try to take that gunfight. I think it's okay to do that as Jett because you can dash out. So this is a little late to take this fight because he wasn't holding it at the start. So it could have gone worse because by the time he like re-peeked in that angle, they could have been already out to the right because of the timing. Timings are really important, and that's why like pre-setup like before the round starts is really important because if people are not in the right positions at the right time, then you miss out on like kind of these like early engages where you kind of know exactly where they're coming from and how they're gonna path out of it. And if enough time has elapsed, obviously, and you haven't looked at that angle, then they could be already further out than you expect. I think as soon as I didn't see anything top mid there, I would have gambled B or A, because it doesn't make sense for me to mid-tame mid control and not push it. Like he can either push that mid control because he doesn't see anyone top mid, but then he has to like worry about panels, and he didn't get any smokes, right? So it's like a little dangerous to push. But he has info that no one showed top mid, so he can gamble either B or A. He doesn't need to maintain mid presence because there is no one mid, right? Given that they could come out delayed, but at that time it makes a lot of sense to gamble because he has information that there's no one top mid, so they're either A side or B side. That sort of gambling and information is like something I do a lot on Haven. If I'm playing Haven defense, what I'll do is I'll jiggle out of Garage, and if I don't see anyone there, right, I'll immediately tell my team A or C, because again, by peeking out of Garage, I'm looking into mid, right? Like I can see if there's anyone grass side, I can see if they're window side, and if I don't see anyone, like that has to mean that the enemy team is either waiting in spawn, or going C or going A, right? And like generally speaking, they're not going to be waiting in spawn, so it's probably going to be A or C. So same concept here on Ascent. Like if you're peeking mid and you don't see anything top mid, um, like they're not showing mid presence. And then if you also are able to check panels, like then they're not showing mid presence. If they're not showing mid presence, it has to be A or B. A or B, or they're in their spawn. So And then again, more likely than not, people are not just sitting in their spawn. It's usually an A or B. What you decide to do when you get that information that there's no one mid is like your choice. Like you can decide if you want to push down, like hold like rotation, or if you want to just support your team. And that's like up to your style and like your read on the enemy team and how you feel about it. Okay, so he has a judge. The killjoy ult's going off. They got 2 picks. This is huge. 3. Okay, so he hasn't really like he just smokes. Oh,
One enemy remaining.
he just waits for it. Yeah, kill. Okay, that was a little scary. I think like he's in the EM mission. He doesn't need to like hover, right? Just drop off and like shoot him. I think if he does that, he saves his killjoy. And you know, saving your killjoy is a gun, and your economy right now is not good. So that small thing really could have helped a little bit. One thing to think about again is like the timing of things and like the speed at which you're playing the game, right? Like people in lower elos, generally speaking, take too long to do something that they should be doing. Um, Sometimes they don't even do it, but like a lot of the times it's just they do it too slow. In that case, it's like he took too long to kill the Reyna when he had a window in which is a very clear and like obvious way to kill her. It's the same thing here. I wish he would peek a little deeper into the lane so that he could play off the alarm bot and mollies. This is better. Go, go. Okay, that Brimstone's throwing. Nice kill. Okay, there's an Opper. So he should push that lane. Like he should get away from this position and like push that lane and get like try to get space and like support his stage. Upshot came out. Okay, that was good. Boathouse. Oh.
Last player standing.
Okay. Oh, you even dinked the Jett. That sucks. So like, he got 2.5 kills there, so it looks like he did a lot, right? But at the same time, he could have done more if he like
Match point.
pushed more aggressively for that space. Like him playing in Boathouse is like one predictable, so he probably should have died to the first op shot if the Jett on the other team was a little better. But like, if he pushes aggressively for that space, then the Sage gets like more value probably because they're not gonna have time to focus on her, right? Like because he's playing passively in Boathouse, he's not getting any pressure. Like he's just staying there, right? He's staying there until the enemy like comes to engage him. But like meanwhile, his Sage is like getting engaged in B main. Whereas if he just pushed more aggressively on the B lane, that forces the enemy team to like pay attention to him, and it creates a stronger presence with her Sage. So yeah, so things like this, like playing off your teammates, like yes it's solo queue and yes it's comp queue, but like you are the player that are like able to like help your teammates in certain ways and like create scenarios in which your teammates are going to be more like create scenarios in which your teammates will have more impact. Oh, he nailed that kill. That's tough. Generally speaking, I don't like the updraft there. Like if the players are better, that's like pretty telegraphed. They'll shoot you anyways. And like if you just peek out left side of heaven as Jett, like it's easier to one tap him because you're not floating downwards. And 2, you have dash anyways, so you can dash back into cover. So I would have liked to see a peek from heaven, just swinging out of the smoke to the left. No need to. Yeah, no need to kind of just like do the style play. Okay, well that was tough. that was a tough one. I can't hear you if you're saying anything. You typed a message. Hello? Yeah, I hear you.
Alright.
Did
So
it-
what's up?
yeah. So I mean the VOD's there, so you can look at the VOD. Summary points. I think there's like three key things. So the first thing is like on offense, when you're executing a site, right? Make sure you actually clear corners for your teammates. Like it's fine to dash in as Jett, but on first pistol round, when you first dashed in, like there was a breach playing logs that you could have cleared. Like you could have dashed in, you could have done the dash you did, but then went back and like checked logs for your teammates. because by not checking it, your teammates are like trying to funnel in and like catch up to you, and like they didn't check it, you know. That got
Yeah.
one of them killed. That's like the first thing. So the first thing to think about is like your jet dashes. It's like how do you create space, but then also make it so that you can clear these corners for your teammates and not just like run in and like try to take like aggressive space and like let your teammates clear it. Because as a duelist, like it's still your job to like try to clear these spaces for your teammates. So that's like the dash timing. The second thing is like where you place your smokes when you dash. A lot of it is like the smoke player on your team. Like Zio didn't really smoke a lot of things for you, so that sucks. But like in the absence of him smoking, you still need to smoke like the default spots for your team because you're Jett. So if you're going B ascent, like market and CT, you should smoke before you dash in, and then you should dash into your smoke so you can place one by like switch. That'll make it so that you're less likely to die. On A site, it's a little different. You can probably smoke just like twice in front of you and dash into that because those smokes will block back gen and like green default. And then you can work your way backwards and like clear like the close right corner and like garden side, and then work your way to gen or just fight green. Well, obviously it's like dependent on scenario, but um, yeah, because there's too many times where you dash in like your smokes aren't placed or you don't even place smokes. Sometimes you just dash in. You should definitely use your smokes before you dash in.
I
That's one. Second thing is your lurking. So lurking as Jett uh, is like situational. Like generally speaking, I prefer it when the Jett plays for a pick on like a lane, or just like entries, like by dashing in. But if you have to lurk, that's fine. But as a lurker, like make sure you try to execute your lurk as fast as possible. Um, so I think on your lurks you like spend too much time kind of waiting to see if like an enemy will push you. But what you should really do is you should start pushing and like take map control as quick as possible so that you can get behind them uh, and like kill the people that you need to kill like as quick as possible. Uh, the way to win games is like not necessarily get KDA, but it's to try to impact the round as soon as possible. Um, and impacting the round always means, generally speaking, getting like first blood, right? Like if you can get first blood for your team, it's like good. So lurking is like tough because it creates a scenario in which your teammates have to like kind of pull aggro away from you so that you can lurk. So it's less likely that you'll get a first blood. But if you can get a 2k off a lurk by being fast and like baiting your team, it's like probably still worth it. But you have to be fast because if you're not fast enough, then your whole entire team dies and you're on lurk and it just doesn't matter anymore, right? Like you'd have to like get a lot of kills to like win the round or like clutch it. Um, that's the second thing. Defense, I think the big thing here is like you want to play your information uh, a little faster, right? So like on defense, especially I think at your elo, it's like if you have good information that they're like not somewhere, you should gamble. Because I think at your elo, like teams do kind of just like push in, and they don't take map space aggressively. So like for example, on one round, you were middle and you were holding top mid. You didn't see anyone, right? So if you know that there's no one top mid, and there's actually just no one in middle in general on ascent, that very likely means that the enemy team is gonna go either A or B, right? And not like A or B through cat or anything, but just like either A main or like B main. If you know that, like then you don't need to hold on to that position. You should leave. You should leave and just try to support your team, um, either on that cat side or A main side. Yeah, and if you do that, like gambling is bad sometimes. But I think again, at your elo, it's like worth gambling because you want to be the one to take gunfights and like win your gunfights. Yeah. So with that information, like gamble, and then like if you have a sentinel player, just have that sentinel player hold, and take that space so that you can rotate. Yeah. Uh, I think those are like the primary things. There's like other smaller things that like I need more data to like critique on. One thing that I saw that was bad is like there's this one scene in which there was a breach. He had his flash out, right, and you were by the glass, and you had a specter. And your immediate reaction when you saw the breach was to crouch and start shooting him. Whereas if you had just like instead of crouching, gone press D key, and then kind of strafed to the left, to the right, I mean, you would have killed the breach because he had his flash out, and he kind of like went into cover, right? So he like LOS'd you, um, and you crouched, so you stopped your movement, so he was able to LS you. But if you just kind of kept with your movement, And at that range, you don't really care. Like Spectre Spray is like accurate enough, you'll kill him, you know. So you just need to like be there to like get your bolts out. So yeah, that's like the other primary thing that I look for is like in your gunplay, like look at the scenarios in which you're crouching and like losing your movement. Um, because there are some scenarios in which crouching is fine, you can do that, but there are also a lot of other scenarios in which it's much better to keep your movement, and just like counter strafe. Yeah, I think that is like the summary, and then obviously you know you can go through the VOD and you can see my critiques mid game.